from Derry. Next to him is Raymond McCreesh. The guy with the shirt is Francis Hughes. With the beard, Patsy O'Hara. And the last one and the youngest one is Thomas McElwee. That's all 10 hunger strikers. Around the edge there you'll see a few famous faces. This girl with the black hair, that's a girl who was shot.
There's Bush drinking the oil from Iraq. Okay, I'm inside the Crown pub. This is my little booth. This is a World Heritage Site. Still in Belfast, and this commemorates Clinton's visit to the City Hall. Lots of very impressive buildings around here, and then the square, the main square, just doing the panorama. That's the full. We're now in Cheam train station, staying with Chris and Shelley. And Shelley's in her very summery clothes, looking very glamorous. Smile for the camera. Oh, that's nice. And there's Chris.
Watch out for the train. Take the train.
There's Cindy.
Film the train, the train's coming.
There's Team. And now we're going to film the train station at special request. Film the train rather. There it is. Choo choo. Going to London, Victoria. This is the underground, commonly known as the Tube. There's a policeman there, and there's Shelley and Cindy. And there's a Turner. And another. We're in the Tate Gallery, Pimlico Station. And there's Christopher. Here's another Turner with the characteristic white background. The Lady of Shalott, John Waterhouse. This is the Victoria and Albert.
This is an example of the beginning of industrialisation and the manufacture of quarry. In this plate they use an old style, but it actually is output in factories.
Thank you for that, docent Shelley. People used to sleep upright in this bed.
Oh, did you read about that in the time?
Yeah. These are the plaster casts of all the famous statues and things in the world. And some more. This is the silver room at the Victoria and Albert. This is the Natural History Museum in London, next to the Victoria and Albert. It's the Natural History Museum. Fine old building. There's Harrods. Right now.
This is the price of the crystal above. Like Lee's brought us Costa Boda for our wedding, and this is £579. We bought the one below. I hope it was 40, not 400.
This is a 32,000 pound Persian rug, which Cindy has identified as highly desirable.
And it's
And
50% off today.
All right. This is the Millennium Bridge.
But see, I wouldn't know.
There's the Eye of London where we're headed.
The trains.
That is London Bridge Station.
It was Mr.
Parliament buildings, Big Ben. Now we're nearing the top of the Eye of London. St James Park, Buckingham Palace.
And that's the mall in front. Mall. It's at a certain time of the day though.
This is Richard on the... Well, where are we going to stand? This is crazy. On the Eye. Okay. This is Richard and Cindy on the Eye, enjoying their ride.
It's Westminster beyond.
And beyond me you can see a view of London going around, and okay. This is Buckingham Palace, waiting on the change of guard. Look at the feet on that bird. And I'm guessing, yeah, that must be the chicks. We're in St James's Park. Cindy, you're in the view of the camera. That's lovely. And there's the Eye of London back over there. Centre gates are open and the guards are just coming out. Big Ben, Westminster, the Houses of Parliament. And that's Westminster Abbey, Houses of Parliament, and Big Ben. We're in Westminster Hall, which dates back to 1097. It's the oldest of the British parliamentary buildings. It's currently being refurbished. There's a number of these statues. Westminster Hall is also known for Guy Fawkes' failed attempt to explode gunpowder. There's a tribute to that over there. We're not allowed photography in that area. Some lovely stained glass windows up the end.
What are you doing?
Cindy's taking a photo of the roof.
Defend the right to protest!
Defend the right to protest!
Free speech now! Free speech now! Defend the right to protest! Free speech now! The right to protest! Free speech now!
The police have finally come and are taking away some of the lead protesters. They've been told to clear down their signs, and some of them are resisting arrest there. We might read about this on the news tonight, in the newspapers tomorrow. The press are having a field day. They're getting all their photos in. This is a brief glimpse of Trafalgar Square. And there's Nelson's column. There's the National Art Gallery, or the National Gallery. In the background is Big Ben. Covent Garden Market. And there's the Punch and Judy, which used to be my regular drinking hole back in my London days.
I'll still be back.
There's Punch and Judy, and Cindy says that this garden, these statues are a memorial to My Fair Lady, which was filmed here at Covent Garden. Okay, we're on the train going to Cambridge, and there's Cindy reading The Sun, her favourite newspaper. Let's see page 3, please. That's not page.
The word scientist had been invented. Before this word was coined by a man called William Whewell, people who we'd think of as scientists were known as attracted some of the great minds with this new, exciting, and contrary to what it looks like, somebody said to me, why is he holding a loaf of bread? But in fact, it's a sort of little model of this building.
It's an Edwardian letterbox.
There is a story that the university and the colleges had...
This is the backside of Cavendish, where Ernest Rutherford studied. There are 82 Nobel Prize winners who came through Cambridge University. That's the most of any university in the world. This is a whale. Over there is Charles Darwin Museum. And we just went by Babbage. This dates back to the medieval ages, this piece. And then over here is the newer Victorian editions. St Benet's dates back to 1020. It's the oldest building in Cambridge. Just the tower. Here's King's College Cathedral. Classic Gothic, built in the late 1400s. And this is the facade, which was built somewhat later, and there's the halls. This is the Great St Mary's Church, the centre of town.
And it's very unusual.
That's the Senate, used by the university for ceremonial events.
Almost an act of defiance on the part of
Back to Great St Mary's Church. This is Gonville and Keys, Hall of Residence. There's an example of a facade. This is Trinity Hall College.
Now this is the biggest college. This is Trinity, not Trinity Hall. This is Trinity, and this college was founded by King Henry VIII in 15.
Okay, this is Trinity College once again. The set for the Chariots of Fire thing, and interestingly, the clock over there rings twice, or twice as many times as usual. Newton also went to Trinity College. Wow, 30 of the Nobel Prize winners came from Trinity, including Rutherford. King's College once again. There's the chapel, which we had a tour of, but we're not allowed inside. The grass, which only certain students are allowed to walk on. These people are punting on the River Cam, and there's a bridge over it, hence the name Cane Bridge or Cam Bridge. Once again, the most famous view in Cambridge, which is King's College. Back to the River Cam. This is Charlene's house. Andy's gone off to work. We're going out to the car. Kyle, you're on camera. Hi!
Hi!
Who's that in the background there?
This is Harry
Hi Harry.
and Thomas through the window.
Hi Thomas. We're with John and Tina Burge, and we're looking at the village of Bybury from the road. We'll be going down there in a minute. Okay, here's John and Tina Burge, who have driven us up from London to Bybury, and we're about to have lunch in the Catherine Wheel. And
Oh, I like the flowers behind.
here's the this is where John and Tina will be staying tonight. This is the inside of the pub. Notice the thickness of the walls. We're still in Bybury. There's the Allington Mill Museum.
I didn't realise.
We're about to go to the Swan for our lunch. This is the museum in Bybury, and it's an old water wheel. Here's a little on the wheat growing in the area. It's now a museum slash art gallery slash shop. This is the bed and breakfast Cindy and I are staying at in. It's called Cotswold House.
It's got the date up there, 1600 and something. 1611 is it? Wow. 1613.
This is Bybury Court in Bybury, where the Lord of the Manor would have lived, and where we're going to be meeting up with the rest of the relations shortly. Here's the Bybury churchyard, and there's some graves here of some of the Burges. We've just come from the Bybury Court, which is just back there, the back side of it. It's Nathaniel Burge.
John's got a big chart, haven't you seen it yet?
Oh yes. Joseph Burge. There's the Burge headstones in the foreground, and a shot of the church and the Bybury Court.
This was wicked having all this colour and everything, so they whitewashed everything. A lot of the windows were removed as well, the ancient ones. I'll sit here while you have a look at that.
This is the schoolyard next to the church where John's father went to school. Arthur Burge went to school. And I'm just panning around, and there's a nice view of the church and churchyard.
I caught behind.
Yeah, that we just walked inside and behind. This is to the front of the church. This is the Coln, C-O-L-N river, and there's a swan. There's a lot of weed in it at the moment. It's right in front of both the church and the hotel. We're walking up towards the bridge, and we're going to go to the mill in a minute. Here's the chute to get the mill. In the background is the lower creek, and I think this building must be the mill.
Is Nathaniel Burge, and I'm trying to find out which one it is.
Yes.
It was on the television.
He's the John from Bristol. He's a bit red hot. I'm Joan. This is Margaret.
Margaret. Hi Margaret and Joan. I'm just filming everybody here. This is Grace Burge, Cindy, and next to Cindy, David John. John, sorry. And Tina and David again. Hello. What's your name?
I'm Jenny.
Hi Jen.
Married to Gilbert.
Okay.
And I'm Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
I'm Gilbert,
Right.
and I'm enjoying a lovely day here with a few other Burges from around the world, I might say, and we're having a really nice time.
Thank you. Me too.
And I'm Jack Frost.
Jack Frost.
And that's the Burge, Bronwyn.
That's Bronwyn doing the main research arm of Burge Incorporated.
I don't think so.
So,
I tell you what, if John Burge from Clevedon hadn't done his floor plan.
there's Cindy getting ready to take the group photo. Got ya.
Just press it again, right? Just the one in front.
Press the top. Yeah, that one, yeah. Okay. Need you in this picture.
Oh dear.
Well, you got one there, didn't they, recently? But it's a bit longer run.
I mean, I don't really
Smile.
Hi Richard. Hi Richard.
Right, that's a nice backdrop. Better than a grassy field.
Well, we find it hard to keep it going, don't we?
This is John's grandfather, a painter who died of lead poisoning. Joseph Burge, 1904. 1908, sorry. We're about to go into the Sundial Cottage, after meeting up with Joan Walton Spooner, and she's going to show us a little about the cottage. And once again, there is the sundial. The little window into the basement.
Not the people who lived there now, the people before. He was an archaeologist, and a friend came to look at his cottage and said that downstairs was much older than the rest of the cottage.
But you
And
didn't
I
put a
can
date
show
on
you.
it.
So
No,
this
no.
is
And
the upstairs is
come back and do
1600
that,
and the
but he never
downstairs
did.
is older. These are the steps, and there is the bathroom.
Did this, Joe? You are good. Come and
Here's
stay
the
with
bedroom.
us sometime. That's really delightful. I thought that's
Whether he put it there, I don't know. But I
This
could
is
get
the
rid of
basement,
it.
which
So
is
I
the
put
oldest
that-
part of the
that's a
house.
removable lid, so I use
They
that
don't know the
for
exact age.
that sort of thing, obviously.
There's the kitchen. Now we're going out, and this is the where they used to make the wagon wheels and the wheels for the funerals.
That was the
And
privy.
yeah, it's a
There was a
B&B.
piece of wood across the floor in there that had a hole in,
That's
where
lovely.
grandfather and my mother used to sit and everything.
This is the back side of the building we were just in, and this is a look around the block. Lovely little area. This is Arlington Row in Bybury. The most photographed part of Bybury, and in the words of William Wordsworth, the most beautiful town in England. There's a nice shot of Arlington Row, and you can clearly see the gables. I think those are grouse or pheasants. There's a nice little footbridge over the Bybury, or the Colne, I guess, in Bybury. Some more of the nice old houses and shops along the front of the Colne. There's the same little footbridge, and looking up to Arlington Row. This is the old lockup, where bad people were presumably locked up, and it's right next to the Swan Hotel where we stopped yesterday. We're looking at the Bybury trout hatchery, and this guy is feeding the trout or doing something. They're held in those containers. There's a trout, and just make them out. Poke my head in here, son. I'm not going to go out, I'm just going to poke my head in.
I won't be able to open it all. So when you take contents.
I mean, you're probably looking at about...
We're back in the churchyard, and we're at the chancel end, and these are Viking carvings into the stone.
Okay, go. This is an example of a sheep gate. Richard's coming through like a sheep. And it served two functions. It was narrow to keep the larger animals out, like the cows, and it was narrow enough to allow the sheep to be counted one by one as they came into the churchyard.
Now, the interesting thing about this is that in England, wool was the backbone of our our economy, but you only ever see bale tombs in the Cotswolds. Now we can only surmise from that the wool merchants in the Cotswolds had a much greater sense of ego than anywhere else in England.
That's the Saxon end. This is the back side of the Bybury Court, which is an Elizabethan manor house. And here's another close-up of the wool tomb, which is the tomb of a wealthy wool merchant. Wool was very important here in Bybury, and the top of the corrugations denote the way that the wool was wrapped. Another wool tomb with the corrugations going directly across, not diagonal. We're at Chedworth Roman Villa, where the Romans used to rule this area from.
The water runs.
The water runs down the channels, and people probably. This is the oven. This is the triclinium, or main dining room, where the Romans had assembled couches and so on. Note the tiled floor and the underground heating. This is the West bathhouse.
Yeah, I think the will come to us someday. They've got all the bath, that sort of bathroom known.
Knowing my luck, that would have been my job.
I expect there will go a couple of pub in there. It's just like that. What, is this a stick?
This guy's weaving a basket from willow.
They'd actually do it twice.
They're always done in either white or yellow, red and purple. The yellow, red.
The other direction.
Have you seen the black sheep?
Here's some English sheep taking a nap under the tree.
These have just got black heads.
We've established that this is wheat. This is Cotswold stone, no use of cement. There's Cindy going over the public footpath. There's some more fields of wheat. This field is wheat, and over here we're not quite sure what this is. It's either wheat, barley or oats. This is the rural view from the window of our B&B near Cirencester. Some sheep grazing over there. This is Cirencester Church. It's cathedral-like in its proportions. This is the Anne Boleyn Cup of 1535. This is the Trinity Chapel, and here are some of the Earl of Bathurst's ancestors. And those there are brass rubbings of these sorts of things. This is Henry's father. Here's some more brass rubbings in the floor. This is the Bathurst seal in the floor of the church. There's Trinity Chapel where we were. This whole church dates back to the 12th century, but it was rebuilt in others. There's the pulpit, and right above it is the hourglass. A very good idea. Henry's sons now play at the Cirencester Park Polo Club. Lord Bathurst's manor in Cirencester, where his son now lives, and those trees are yew trees, good for making longbows out of. Cirencester Church. It's got the buttresses and the vaulted. This is Lord Bathurst's study. That's his grandfather and his grandmother. This is Lord Bathurst's toilet. You open it up. Thank you, Cindy.
Went along.
Did you hear about this one? Did you...
We just had lunch with the Earl of Bathurst at the Bell of Sapperton Free House, and there's where you tie your horses. This is the estate. We're having the Land Rover tour. Now we're in the middle of the estate, and everywhere you go there's these avenues. There's one down there, and here's the, I guess, the main avenue. Down the end you may just be able to see a church. That was Cirencester Church. This is the Cirencester Polo Club, frequented by the Royals.
Would you like to stop? All you have to do is to build the foundations. But that is the old.
Cirencester Polo Grounds, where Charles and Harry play. And there's the thatched roof again.
I think it's a good photograph.
There's the Ivory Lodge.
Ivy Lodge it is.
Ivy Lodge.
Yes.
Looks like something displayed, doesn't it, Henry?
Queen Anne.
Queen Anne.
Yeah.
There's the Ivy Lodge on one of the Earl's 5 polo grounds.
Hard ride, and he came up on the other side of me on the grass, on this side.
And how fast was he going?
Well, that I was being doing about 15. He'd been doing 30, 40, I bet.
And he came down there and zoomed off that way.
You see in a minute, would you like to stop there? And you'll see now in a minute there, that's where we come from, the 10 rides, where that truck's just coming past it. And vehicle.
I see, but he didn't say anything.
He had to stop right here. I came up there, straight across the road, and then the policeman came up behind.
William won't come here anymore.
This is where Alexander Pope used to write a lot of his work.
And he helped the first Lord Bathurst to design the park.
Ah, and he helped the
first
Lord Bathurst to design the park.
You have a zoom? Yes, at the top of the circle. The top of the circle on the front.
Once again,
where
the
your thumb is.
Cirencester
Press the top of the circle.
Cathedral. There's our last look at the Cirencester Church.
Well, you're doing a perfect job.
There's Queen Anne again.
Yes. Had he not been here, none of these would have been here.
So this S6 is a lorry park used in the...
Yes, parking bay, I suppose, what we used to call them. Well, it wasn't hard standing because they didn't have any concrete.
And that was used in the Second World War?
Yes. They came out of Birmingham, stored up there, got their tools, signs.
This is the mill that was... This was previously occupied by the New Zealand millers in the World War II era. This is New Zealand House, built in 1942 and still standing. There's New Zealand House. This is the River Avon in Stratford upon Avon. We're staying in a B&B across the fields, and we're here with Shelley and Chris. All right.
Bream.
Bream, that's a nice one. What'd you put them back for?
I put it in my net. At the
Oh.
end of the day, count how many I've got and take photographs of the biggest ones.
And you got the worms too.
Here's the worms. Smile. Wave.
Hello.
Thank you.
How art thou? There's a hot and cold drink and ice cream there.
These are luxury.
Falstaff is a Shakespearean character that represents comedy. Lady Macbeth represents tragedy.
I don't want to come here because of Shakespeare.
This is Sheep Street, where all the eateries are in Stratford upon Avon, and some nice old buildings. There's the Garrick Inn, one of the oldest in all of England, I think. William Shakespeare. That's Shakespeare's house where he was born.
Together with money, for a place where all men may gain learning and godliness.
Here are some pewterware. This is the pewter toilet.
Oh, I guess I'll take a photo of it. Oh, that's the foundation.
This is Shakespeare's birthplace. And this is known as Shakespeare's garden. Okay, we're at Warwick Castle now.
Someone looking out of that window up there, I'm sure you know.
That's for nagging
In reality,
wives.
of course, there would be a small metal cask to hold the tongue still, so the woman would not be able to eat, drink, and most importantly for the husband,
Speak.
talk, thus giving him
Perfect.
a few days of peace and quiet.
There's a wax of Edward, Prince of Wales, who hung out with Daisy. Warwick Castle is owned by Tussards, hence all the wax figures. There's the tower where we're about to go to now. Here's the view from the top of the tower. You can see the surrounding countryside. It's very nice. And there's the back side.
Oh, we can, yeah.
Straight line. World Cup 2002. England v Brazil. Ronaldinho shot. Now these lines of these guards have certain elements to them. The first line in any medical battlefield is called the vanguard. In the vanguard, you find, big cheer coming, the number! No, don't cheer actually at the front. It's not a good place to be. In the middle, you've got guys in armour walking into battle. It's called the bowmen. Imagine them there with thick, heavy longbows, ready to shoot arrows into the enemy. Behind this line, we have the second line, the midguard. Again, men in armour in the middle, walking into battle. On the wings, retained men, soldiers, infantry to fight. Behind this midguard, we have our knights. On horseback, the women don't like them. Down this side of the net, i.e. not in the river. I want a great big cheer. Breathe, breathe. Fly high into the air like so. I was ground bigger than that, a big cheer as it comes down. Knock, draw, loop.
This is a trebuchet used for hurling fireballs and so on at castle walls. It's the largest trebuchet in the world that's operating. It's the boathouse with a thatched roof. That's where the jousting takes place. This is the Avon River, and there's Warwick Castle again. There's a mill.
All macho and so on and so on. You don't think of a little camp bird like this one. Yeah, okay. There's your meal bandit. You can fly now. Come out and see all of you. This one is this signal. When one vulture spotted a carcass, then lots of them would descend. I've never got her to fly yet, at all. It's not a stage in the training. Don't worry, she won't tell Buzzard Eagle. And what we're going to try and do with him is get him as close to all of you as we possibly can. It'll take some doing because Eagle doesn't want to be close to you. He wants to be further. And they take their prey by a surprise dive. When they've caught prey, we need some way of finding them. So, a wonderful male bald eagle. How about a little round of applause there for Archie? This to be
It's
a
bald eagle from America.
It absolutely is. It's a magnificent fish eater. It can pull salmon up to its own weight out the surface of the water. Things to win. Any use by pesticides and poisoning and shooting and so on and so on.
Shields. Each shield is the size of a man's head. And Jones will possibly your head from your shoulders. Sir John, from Arch, he gets 3, 4, 5, 6! To Sir John, give it up for the bravest young man in all of Christendom! Get on, Joe! Oh! He goes Richard Taylor returning home today to find his father dead and his stepbrother. They fly! Oh! And the older, more... Oh, but he didn't avoid that! They won't go and start squires! Send a squire, make it a big one!
There's Cindy watching the jousting. These are the peacock gardens, and we did see some peacocks before. This is Windsor Castle. It's a rather large castle. Some school kids in uniform. Still just outside the castle walls here. I think these kids are from Eton. There's the entrance, and those kids were not from Eton but from Liverpool. The Union Jack is flying, but the Royal Standard is not, which means the Queen is not in her residence at present. After Camilla's wedding, Shelley informs us that the buses came here to pick up the wedding party. This is known as the Long Walk. It's about 3 kilometres long. Here's a tea room that's a bit crooked.
Quite pretty.
This is the Golden Hind, which St. Francis Drake sailed around the world. And in the background there is the Southwark Cathedral, which we just went inside and saw a memorial to Shakespeare, who used to use this as his local church. The Thames seems very low at the moment. I know they've had a drought. Here's St. Paul's. This is the Globe Shakespeare Theatre replica, which has just been rebuilt in the last few years.
The building together. Right at the top you will see that we have a thatched roof. This is the first thatched roof in London since 1666 and the Great Fire of London, when the City of London was burnt to the ground. Because of that, this one had to be fireproofed thoroughly, which is why
This is where the groundlings stood to watch the show for about 3 hours, and they paid 1 penny for the pleasure. That's the heavens, and those pillars are made of oak. Hercules pillars. These are the gates the groundlings use. This is the Tate Modern Art Museum. It used to be a power station.
I promise I won't annoy you. I see you have one already.
There's the Camden's Head, my old local pub. That's the block of flats that I used to live in on Ainsley Street. And I just here's the Tower of London. Cindy's about to go in there and look at the crown jewels. Tower of London, which Cindy is about to go into to check out the crown jewels. This is the Tower of London, and that's Cindy and London. The drawbridge is just being raised. That's the boat that's passed under the bridge. Look at that sculptured building over there. Now they're lowering the drawbridge. There's the Tower of London with the famous Gherkin building behind it. At Leicester Square, and this is some of the theatres that are on. The half price, the discount ticket booth. We're in Greenwich, and that's the Cuddy Sark, once the fastest clipper ship in the world. That's the foot tunnel across the River Thames, which is, as you can see, it's very low, having a drought at the moment. And in the background there is Canary Wharf. The National Maritime Museum in Greenwich. I'm going to go for a quick look inside. There's the observatory at Greenwich. And here's the bar that denotes GMT, including Canberra and Wellington. The ball is going up. Oh, I hear the bells. There it goes, it dropped. That was the signal to the ships that it's now 1 o'clock. Greenwich Observatory, City of London in the centre there, Docklands. And that in the corner is the Millennium Building. Millennium Building. St Paul's Cathedral. Very ornate and decorative. Here's John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, outside St Paul's Cathedral. This is the British Museum. There's the sign. And they're having an Africa theme over here.
Yeah, bottom's Greek and
That's the middle.
the top half the middle signifies demotic. Oh, that's the everyday chips and language.
What's it about? What's the top?
What do they say?
That's what the big cows are.